Welcome back to another video. Today, Nathan and I decided to do a video on how to get
How to
better
get
at
better at
dueling.
dueling.
Well, thank you. I didn't know you were going to chime in really quick and say it loud and proud. But I want to do this video because people and kids like Nathan who need tips. I know you can go to Google, but why Google when you got us to explain it to you and break it down? Nathan's a new duelist,
Yeah.
and these tips could work for him, and we'll see. Because during his first duel, I gotta stop saying during his first duel, he didn't follow, I would say, these steps, and it was a little harder for him. So let me share my screen real quick. We'll go through these, and Nathan could say yes, no, if it happened to him.
Yeah.
Share. All right. Let me know when you can see it.
I can see it.
You can see it. All right. So first thing, boom. How to get better at dueling/battling. I am going to always say dueling because I don't know what's called battling. I come from the Yugioh world, so we say duel. It's time to duel. I just said I'm saying and I'm saying All right. First rule in Fight Club. You never talk about Fight Club. Here we go. All right. Learn your deck combos. Stops engine. Now, what I mean by that, learn your deck, right?
Yeah.
Nate, I gotta stop saying it. Okay.
You had to practice your deck. Like right when you get your deck, you have to practice it with your friends or family members. This way you get to learn how to use your deck and how to play your deck.
Correct. You went to do the Pokemon battle.
Yeah, but I used your Charizard and I didn't know how to use him and I wasn't prepared.
Right. So how did that go for you?
Very bad because I didn't know what the heck I was doing. I was just playing random cards while my Giratina deck I could actually like play it and know what to do, some things for it, like combos for it too. But
Correct. All right. What I mean by combos, and all decks can have combos. You see, the Grados have combos that we play. Cosmo has
yeah,
combos. Charizard had combos. Your Giratina deck has combos. You learn those combos so that way when you see the cards or what you're trying to strive for. So I got to get this card, this card, and this card, and I got to do it in this order so that way I could get to this section of the card and make it powerful. For example, his well, I'll say the Charizard deck. I could go into Cosmo, but you got to get the Charmander, then you got to get um the rare candy into Charizard combo. For Yu-Gi-Oh, Cosmo, you go like a tin can. You bring out one of the Cosmos. You sub out tin can for a little bigger one. Sub out that one for the monster one, and you rely on these combos. Same thing for the Grados. Grados, you rely on things to get your combos going. If you can't get your combos going and you don't know the deck for your combos, you're going to struggle like he did when he was dueling.
yeah,
Okay. Next part is the stops. And what I mean by stops is how do you stop your opponent? What cards can stop your opponent, right?
yeah,
So when we're playing Yu-Gi-Oh, and that video's coming out before when we're doing the Shadow Point format, you didn't know the Grado deck, but I know the Grado deck. You're just using
yeah,
my deck so we could test it out. And he pulled out a trap card, but he didn't know what the trap card was used for really. So he pulled it up too fast and ended up not being the right time to use that one. Correct?
yeah, yeah. It was
Okay.
bad.
That's it. So you have to know the combos, you got to know what stops the opponent and how to get to that card to stop the opponent. And the last thing I would say is your engine. You have to know what runs your deck. If you don't know the engine, you can't get it started. And that's part of the combo. So one is I would say the key. Turn the key on, that card activates another card, which is already started. So now your engine's going, and then boom, 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 boom. Got it?
Yeah,
You understand? So you
yes.
have to know all this part of your thing. So what's the main thing you have to do in this one?
This one. Well, first off, learn your deck.
No,
Learn what
that's
what.
it. What's the main point? What do they got to do?
What do you mean?
What do
What?
they got to do? What's the main thing? What do you take away from this? What do they have to do right now? Main thing. Learn
Uh,
your deck.
yeah, learn your deck.
Learn your deck. Got it?
Yeah.
Learn your deck. Say it with me.
Learn your deck.
Okay, let's move on to the next one. You have to play. Okay, next one is learn other decks. Why is that important?
This way, if you're battling someone and you don't know what that deck does, it could be bad for you. But if you look at other decks, you also get to learn how to play that deck and know how people do their combos and stuff if they have that
That's it.
deck.
You learn the other decks combos. You learn how you can stop the other decks. You could plan for some of the decks. There's cards that are universal. And what I mean by universal is some cards will go into every deck that can stop every deck in some way. It may not stop it fully, but there's some ways that slow down a deck. I won't say stop, slow down a deck. But then there are other cards that will stop a deck. And if you know what's coming up, you have a side deck and you can side those cards in if you're playing that kind of deck. You may lose the first duel or get lucky and win, but you can side cards in. So that way you're preparing. And in your deck, you would know what's about to come up. Oh, I'm playing Snake Eyes. I know what to do on this one. I'm going to stop him on this one. You got to learn the meta. You know what meta is?
No.
Okay, meta is like the top of the line decks. It's the ones that are always winning the tournaments.
Like the Charizard deck.
Yes. The ones that always go. Snake Eyes is there, then Tenpai Dragons, Jake's new deck. But these are the ones that are always topping. You have to know them because you have like a 90% chance you're going to come into contact with these decks. You got to know them. You got to know how to stop them. You got to know how people are playing. When you see this card come on the field, what's after that card? When do I play like a trap card? When do I play a hand trap? When do I do all this stuff? You have to know. Because if you don't, you're going to play at the wrong time and you're going to hurt yourself. And that can cost you the whole game, to be honest with you.
Yes.
Okay. And another thing is learn popular decks. Don't just learn the meta, but learn popular decks because you're going to face a lot of popular decks. You may face rogue decks. And when I say rogue is like my Kaiju Gradle. Okay. That's not a very popular deck. So you're going to face me and you're not going to know exactly what's happening. But that's okay because that's rare chance that happens. But popular decks you're going to face. And I say learn them, right?
Yeah.
Because you learn them, what happens? What did I say? You can repeat back to me.
If you learn them, you know what your opponent does and their combos.
Yes. So you know by my Gradles of how I was playing it, you kind of know what's coming for you.
Yeah.
That's it. All right, let's move on to the next one. You learn when you lose. Do you understand what I mean by this?
Learn what you did wrong and learn how shoot, I don't know how to say it. What I really said was learn how you what I say? Learn how you
Learn what you did wrong. That's basically it. You can stop there. That's basically it. Learn what you did wrong. Fix what you did wrong. If you don't know your deck or you failed at this trap card, you failed to stop them at this part, well, okay. Learn from that mistake and you'll get better. Don't just go around, oh, this deck's way better than me and I'm never going to win. Okay, well, you can win, not with any deck. Oh, I'll take that back. You can win with any deck. It depends on what you're dueling. You can't go in there with the bottom of the barrel deck and go beat a meta one. 9 out of 10 times you could win probably one time on luck somewhere along that lines, but you're not going to do a lot of victories with a bottom of the barrel deck. But if you're playing and you're trying to go for meta, you're trying to actually compete, you have to learn even what the other person did wrong, learn from them, learn from yourself. But you learn the most when you lose because you're not going to try to repeat that. Don't go and say, oh, I got screwed. I didn't mess up. It's someone else's fault. Yada, yada, yada. It's not. You lost because somehow you messed up in there. And you got to figure out how to correct that. And I tell you that all the time.
Yeah.
It's on you to fix it. Learn from your mistakes. Learn from other people's mistakes. You'll see a lot of videos on YouTube about the duels. Learn what they did wrong. Don't repeat it. You'll be a way better dueler if you could be open to criticism and criticize yourself.
Yeah.
Okay?
Mm-hmm.
All right, next one. There we go. This one you did not do and you should do.
No.
Okay, read cards you don't know. Don't be scared of your opponent. And what I mean by that is there's a lot of cards in front of you, but we're too scared sometimes to reach over like, hey, let me go ahead and read what that card does. And so I can see if that's actually the truth of what you're telling me.
Yeah.
I did a duel one time with this one guy, and I did not read it because I trusted the guy across from me. I played many battles with him, or duels with him, and I trusted him. Turns out he was wrong on what the card said, and he ended up beating me for first place in the tournament. If I'd have read the card, which I should have done, because I did not know what the card did, I should have read it, I would have won that duel. And that's where learn from my mistakes. Read the card. See, learn from a mistake.
Yeah.
But don't be scared to ask your opponent if you could read that card. Hey, let me read that card. What are they going to say? They're going to say no. I'm like, okay, well then let me call a judge over here. The judge can read it for me, so that way I understand. Okay?
Yeah.
The goal is not to lose every duel. You want to win.
Yeah.
And you only win if you're not scared to ask questions, if you're not scared to reach across and read. You have to put yourself out there. At one point, this is how I justify it. At one point, we were all new. Right?
Yeah.
We all came into this game new. We all had to learn the game. We all had to read across the cards so that your opponent, if they're a seasoned or getting into it too, they're going to understand that you want to read it. And they're going to understand what you have to do to be a better duelist. Why did you not read the cards? I'm curious to see what happened. Why did you not do it?
Because I was, oh no, I was a little nervous and didn't want, I mean, I did want to read the card, but I just didn't, like, want to ask.
That's it. You played an older person, so
Yeah.
you thought you might have been embarrassed to ask the older person.
Yeah, and I thought they'd tell you the truth, but they probably weren't.
Don't trust any duelist. Don't trust any opponent, even if you play with them for a long time, because maybe they are wrong on how they play that card. You understand? Because I trusted the guy, and he was wrong. So he thought it did something else. It didn't. So I trust that he was right and he knew his deck. Turns out he really didn't know his deck that much because he was wrong on some of the cards. So don't be afraid. Don't be embarrassed. Ask your opponent.
For cards.
They're going to be fine. Yeah, they'll be fine with it. So do that. Be willing to do that. Okay. We have two more. This one is, I think, one of the last ones. But you have to do this, okay? You have to keep up with the game. By that, I mean you have to know what's coming to prepare. So you know how every so often a new deck or new, new booster cards come out.
Yeah.
New cards all the time, new packs. You have to know what's in those packs because you have to be on top of some of the stuff. So that way you know what to prepare for. So if so-and-so deck got these cards, okay, I got to prepare for those because that's going to really hurt my deck. And that way you know what they put into their deck.
And you can see what's upcoming, what new decks are coming to Yu-Gi-Oh, Pokemon, Magic.
Yes. And you could also power up your deck. What do those cards help you? Right?
Yeah.
So then you can put those in your deck, make your deck better. You have to stay up with the current game. If you don't, you're going to fall behind. You're going to have an old, deck. Out of time deck where the person across from you is probably playing the same deck as you, but his is updated and yours is not. He's going to beat you with your own deck because you are not current. You just think that's the same thing. All right. So keep up with the news. Keep up with what's coming out. Prepare. Okay?
Yeah.
Last one. What is it?
Practice your deck. Keep practicing your deck until you know it like the back of your hand.
Yep. And I have it right here. Can you see what it says?
Practice, 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 practice. And when you think you did enough, practice some more.
That's it. And I tell you this for sports too, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Practice, practice, practice. When you're tired and you think that you know your deck inside and out, no one knows it better than you. Practice some more. You should be able to play your deck with just looking at a picture and knowing where it's going to go. Or looking at your opponent's first card that throw out, oh, he's playing this one. So he's going to be able to play this one. This is part of his engine. Boom, boom, boom. I know what he's going to do. I'm going to stop him here. It's a game of chess. And you know I love chess.
Yeah, I know you.
So it's a game of chess. You want to get your opponent to this part right here to make him kind of, I would say, flinch. And then you play yours, and you got to be steps ahead of your opponent. That's why I say practice. You have to practice on everything. If you don't practice, you're never, ever going to reach your full potential. Never. Don't care how good you are, you'll never reach your full potential if you don't practice. You understand?
Yes.
Got it? All right.
Mm-hmm.
That's all I got for us. Do you have anything else you want to input on any of these topics? If you would have practiced with the Charizard deck, you might have been better.
Yeah.
But even now, you got to practice your deck.
Giratina deck.
Yes.
Some more before we go into Saturday's tournament.
Right. And you can practice online too. You can practice on the TCG.
Yeah, but I also had
apps.
to practice because my shuffling is very bad.
Yes. What's better, online or in person practicing?
Well, online you could build your deck and practice that deck with other people, but it does everything for you. So
Bingo.
you would have to get your deck and play with your friends or family and actually know what to do and what not to
That's
do.
it. Yes. Because the thing does it for you. The thing what I like about online, it helps you get the combos. It starts getting your head what this works, this works, this works. But you have to play in person so that way you actually know and the computer is not reminding you, hey, you got activation down here. Do you want to do that? Or do you want to do this? You have to play in person so that way you could get better at it. But the online is good for practice, learning your combos, learning when to pop some stuff up, and kind of explaining the game to you, the cards. Because some people play the cards wrong. I probably did in one of the duels. And correct me. Feel free to correct me anytime I play them wrong. I'm not perfect at this, so I can't play them wrong. But the online helps with that. If I can't play it this way, okay, so I've been playing it wrong this whole time. It helps me understand that I can't play it at that time. So I say online, anytime you get a chance to practice. Just have fun, practice. Play online if you don't have someone to play with you. And also just flip over the cards. Play against yourself. Get another deck or something else and play against yourself. Do the draw, shuffles, test your deck out.
Yeah.
Okay? That's all I got.
Yeah, me too.
You good?
Yep.
Okay. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, share. Comment below on your thoughts. If I left something out, or what do you think about the dueling and battling tips? If you have any tips that you use when you go, or when you're coming in new, or even now, if you're a vet and you're still learning tips, feel free to please comment below and let us know. Thank you. And until next